Welcome.
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 Welcome to Greek 101.
Welcome to Greek 101 for Fraternity and Sorority Life at Bridgewater State University. This is our online workshop for new members and returning members for Fraternity and Sorority Life.
We are glad you've decided to become a part of our fraternal family.
All new members are required to complete this 3-part program.
First, you will watch and listen to this video.
Second, you complete a post-knowledge test.
And third, you will stop by the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership, or OSIL, to pick up and sign for your new member packet.
Let's start by learning about sorority life at BSU.
We have 4 sororities on campus, which are all part of the National Pan-Hellenic Conference, which is also known as NPC. All 4 of our groups are national or internationally recognized, meaning they have chapters all over the United States and some in Canada.
National organizations also mean that there is a headquarters that oversees the daily operations of each organization. Collectively, the groups make up the Pan-Hellenic Association, which is the local governing board of the NPC.
Our campus has deferred recruitment, which means first semester students are not eligible to join until they have successfully completed 12 academic credits. But that's why we encourage transfers and upperclassmen to join us in the fall semester.
Alpha Sigma Tau,
Delta Phi Epsilon,
Gamma Phi Beta, and Phi Sigma Sigma.
The sororities hold primary recruitment in the spring semester, where any undergraduate student in the BSU community can participate as long as they meet the academic eligibility.
Now let's talk about fraternity life here at BSU.
The Interfraternity Council, or IFC, is the governing board for our 5 national fraternities and our 1 local co-ed fraternity.
Kappa Delta Phi.
Sigma Pi.
Sigma Chi.
Phi Kappa Theta.
And Pi Kappa Alpha.
All are men's fraternities, whereas Phi Pi Delta is a co-educational fraternity. So anyone regardless of gender identity is welcome to join.
While all of our groups have their own statements and creeds, the fraternity and sorority life are bound by 4 pillars.
Leadership, scholarship, service, and friendship.
Our pillars serve not only as guidelines, but also for expectations for each and every member of our community.
As Greeks, we strive to be leaders on campus and in our community. We have leadership retreats that bring us together for strategic planning and skills development.
We have our own 8-week leadership program called Greek Leadership and Development, commonly known as GLAD, and we represent our campus at local conferences such as New England Greek Summit and Northeast Greek Leadership Association.
The first ever fraternity, Phi Beta Kappa, was founded in 1776 as a literary fraternity. Education and learning has always been a primary value in fraternity and sorority life here at BSU. BSU Greeks have consistently achieved higher GPAs than non-Greek students. Chapters hold their members accountable for their grade requirement.
Every chapter has its own GPA requirements and scholarship program to help support members academically. From the beginning of your membership until you graduate, you will be required to maintain the required GPA.
Be sure that you understand the academic responsibilities of your chapter. We're proud that our community consistently comes in smarter than the average bear.
Service to our campus community and humanity is something we all come together around. BSU Greeks participate in many service activities, including Gifts to Give, Girls Inc., the Boys and Girls Club, and many more. By giving our time and talent, we can lead the way as leaders in our community.
Each of our chapters has a philanthropic partner that we raise funds for. Some are local charities, and some may be national organizations. We encourage our members to be active participants in chapter service events, as well as campus opportunities through the Community Service Center. Many of our members really enjoy the alternative spring and winter break trips.
Final and perhaps easiest to understand pillar is friendship, brotherhood, and sisterhood. These are the relationships that we pride ourselves on.
From social events like mixers with other organizations, formals, friend retreats, Greek Week, and homecoming, you really have the opportunity to meet with so many different members of the Greek community. The Greek Activity Committee, or GAC, is a group of members who join together to plan events for the entire fraternity and sorority community. If you like planning events, I suggest you jump in and get involved.
Whether it is planning a semester welcome back event, a new member social, or Greek Week, members of sorority and fraternity life benefit from being able to work with people from all different types of backgrounds.
New member education is unique to fraternity and sorority life, and it's your time to learn about the values and responsibilities of being Greek.
To make sure all our community members know and understand that our letters come with a lifetime of commitment.
Every decision you make is a lifetime of us all. So whether it is behavior at an on or off-campus event, or what you choose to post through social media, as a Greek, it is your responsibility to everyone to make sure you're always living your organizational values.
At BSU, we have a maximum of 8 weeks for new member education.
Some chapters take only 6 weeks, and some take the full 8. But every semester there's a deadline that all new members must be initiated by.
One very important conversation that we need to have that many people are worried about is hazing.
Here at BSU, we are very clear that hazing cannot and will not be tolerated. In fact, hazing behavior is the direct result of many campuses determining not to have fraternity and sorority communities at all. At BSU, we have lost chapters because of hazing and risk management, so we want to be very clear here for every new member where we stand on the issue. We have a long history of Greek life here at Bridgewater, and our members value the hard work of our founders more than the behavior that could jeopardize your chapter or community. So, we need you, our newest members, to understand the Massachusetts state law and the university policy on hazing. Each chapter has their own policy regarding this behavior as well. At the conclusion of this program, you'll take a quick knowledge test to ensure that you understand the information in the session. Additionally, you'll need to stop by the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership to pick up a packet of this law and BSU policy. You'll then sign that you have picked it up. This is a requirement for compliance in the university policy. Two important elements to point out in the Massachusetts state hazing law are written here. The first is that consent shall not be available to defend any prosecution. This means that if you or any others state that you agree to participate in the behavior, that does not mean you will not be held responsible for violating the law. There's an understanding that peer pressure and the desire to be part of a group may alter or inhibit people from feeling as though they can give consent, as if it's even an option. The second part is unique to Massachusetts state law, is that failure to report the crime of hazing is also punishable by a fine of up to $1,000. So, if you know about hazing, are witness to it, through participation or otherwise, and you do not report to the appropriate law enforcement official, you may be guilty of violating this law. The BSU policy on hazing can be located in the Code of Conduct and the Student Handbook. As a member of sorority and fraternity life, there are a number of mechanisms for holding members accountable for any behavior that violates our policy. The Office of Community Standards holds individual members to the policy. The Office of Student Involvement and Leadership holds recognized fraternities and sororities accountable. The Interfraternity and Panhellenic Association holds chapters accountable, and each chapter has their own standards to hold individual members accountable. Members who participate in hazing may be held responsible by any and all of these groups. We are very serious about this. Hazing behavior is contradictory to the values which we were founded on and will not be tolerated here at Bridgewater. It's important to note that there are benefits to reporting hazing. Individuals who have knowledge of a hazing incident but did not participate and truthfully report will not be held responsible. And when reviewing a case, consideration will be given to the leaders of an organization who have self-reported and identified individuals responsible for hazing to the appropriate university official. We wanted to include some specific ways that you can report behavior you have concerns or questions about. You can speak with members of your chapter leadership, IFC or Panhellenic leaders, members of the OSL staff, trusted administrators like your resident director or student employment supervisor, or our on-campus police officers. The university has an anonymous tip line and online reporting form. The only wrong way to handle hazing behavior is to remain silent. We need our leaders to step up and not be bystanders to the behavior that could potentially hurt our members, our chapters, or our community. A good general rule of thumb is if you don't want the local newspaper to see it, wouldn't want your mom to know about it, or wouldn't want to put it in your next recruitment brochure or video, it shouldn't be done, and always, when in doubt, just ask.
We're proud of our community and are excited to see how you help us move forward.
Stay connected through social media. Stay up to date on events, programs, announcements, and as alumni, these pages will be a great way for you to stay involved and connected with our community. You're almost done. Once you finish this, log on to the Involvement Network at in.bridgew.edu. If you don't have an account, you can simply make one and log in using your BSU credentials. Once logged in, type into the search bar, Fraternity and Sorority Life. Once on the page, scroll down to find Greek 101 New Member Education. You'll then click on the second link to complete your post-knowledge test. The final step is for you to stop by the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership and pick up the new member packet. This packet includes both the Massachusetts state law as well as the university policy on hazing. Every new member must complete this test as well as sign for the new member packet. Chapters who do not have 100% of their new members comply will not be eligible for awards. Welcome again to Fraternity and Sorority Life. We look forward to working with you.
I love Greek life.